Hello there. We really are being taken for mugs, aren't we? While successive governments talk tough on immigration, both legal and illegal, or should I say irregular, all that happens is more and more newcomers arrive needing housing, healthcare, feeding, clothing and money, while nothing is done about shoplifting, grooming gangs, pro-Pally marches, the knife crime epidemic and the rest. But the ever-rising tax take to pay for more and more benefits, especially for newcomers, takes its toll, forcing good people to leave the country to be replaced. Anyway, here's our latest Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, talking tough on illegal migration. But do you believe her?
New laws to restore order at our borders. Here's 5 things that are changing. 1. It is too easy for illegal migrants to plan their journey to Britain. We have made it a criminal offence to download or view information that could facilitate an illegal crossing. 2. Illegal migrants are being smuggled into this country in specially made compartments in the backs of lorries. We have banned these modifications, and those who break that ban will face 5 years in jail. 3. There is vital intelligence on the phones of illegal migrants that could help us track down the smugglers. Law enforcement will now be able to seize devices of anyone arriving by small boat suspected of being involved in people smuggling. 4. The smugglers are brazenly advertising their services online. We have made it illegal to promote illegal entry on social media, sell fake travel documents, and to promise illegal working opportunities in the UK. 5. Small boat crossings kill. In September, 2 children drowned at sea. Anyone who has caused serious injury or a death will now face up to 6 years in prison. This government is cracking down on the smuggling gangs wreaking havoc at our borders, and I won't stop until we have restored order and control.
What a load of absolute rubbish. Jeff, could we please? I'm going to ask you to do something now. That's really wound me up. Could you play that again and let's dissect it? I will be requesting a pause from you there, Mr. Taylor.
Oh, you want
occasionally.
pauses? You want me to operate some buttons? Right, okay.
I know,
Let's see if
I
I can
know.
operate some buttons. I'm going to have to get this thing rewound to the start. Yes, here we go.
Here we go.
Are you ready, ladies and gentlemen? We're going to
Let's
take
go
this
for it.
one apart.
New laws to restore order at our borders. Here's 5 things that are changing. 1. It is too easy for illegal migrants to plan their journey to Britain. We have made it a criminal offence to download or view information that could facilitate an illegal crossing. 2.
Pause. Right. Hang on
Yeah.
a second. Right. So they want to make an illegal crossing. They're going to make it illegal in Britain to view that, although there's no way of proving it because that person's in another country. So they're going to ban it in Britain, but they're not coming from Britain. They're coming from another country, from France, the complete, utter imbecile. Right. What a load of absolute rubbish. Honestly, oh my days. The thing is, there are some people who are so stupid, they will listen to that and they'll think, oh, that's a good idea. Absolutely, completely, cerebrally challenged.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well said. Right, shall I continue?
Carry on, sir.
Carry on.
Illegal migrants are being smuggled into this country in specially made compartments in the backs of lorries. We have banned these modifications, and those who break that ban will face 5 years in jail. 3.
Pause!
Right.
So-
I'll have a go now. So
Go on.
are these lorries being changed? Are they British lorries where they're changed here and go abroad? Or are they foreign lorries that are changed and then come over here in their hundreds, each one bringing someone in? It's extra earners, isn't it? You know, God dear, not a clue.
Yeah, but not just that, Jeff. It's like these compartments, these secret compartments are going to be banned. Secret smuggling compartments are now going to be made illegal. Well, weren't they illegal before? You know, isn't a smuggling compartment, something like that, illegal? Shouldn't that be illegal? What on earth is she on about? Carry on, Jeff. Press play. Here we go.
Well, the first thing to do is they probably converted the tobacco and alcohol smuggling compartments into people carrying compartments.
Ah, yes. Very true, Jeff. Very true.
Yeah. Anyway, I shall continue.
There is vital intelligence on the phones of illegal migrants that could help us track down the smugglers. Law enforcement will now be able to seize devices off anyone arriving by small boat suspected of being involved in people smuggling. 4.
What? They are now going to be allowed to do this? Now. Not after all these years. So the Tories didn't do it. Labour haven't done it until now. And the only reason they're doing it, ladies and gentlemen, is because we're getting angry about it all. Otherwise, they'd be letting them keep their own phone, giving them another one so they can do twice as much. It's absolutely ludicrous that we've got this far. This shows you how deep this whole open borders project goes. It goes right to the heart of government, in the civil service, MPs, House of Lords, the lot. They don't want to stop it, and they're only doing they're probably doing these things now because they found other ways of letting them in. That's the truth, really.
The smugglers are brazenly advertising their services online. We have made it illegal to promote illegal entry on social media, sell fake travel documents, and to promise illegal working opportunities in the UK. 5.
So, where are they making it illegal to tout their services? In
Exactly.
the Balkans? Africa? Or is it in Britain? You can't tout your people smuggling services in Britain. What the... Oh.
They're not coming from Britain. They're coming to Britain. Can somebody explain this? Can somebody explain this to this woman? Honestly. Go on, Jeff, go on.
You got to remember that one of the smuggling gangs that was arrested and convicted and jailed earlier this year was the people sending... trafficking people out of the country. We've got to stop them, you know.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I mean, have they actually smashed any gangs? Because I'm beginning to wonder if there are any gangs. There's a lot of evidence suggesting there isn't any gangs, but that might not be true. That might just be hearsay.
We'll come on to that in a minute. Yes.
Small boat
delightful.
crossings kill. In September, 2 children drowned at sea. Anyone who has caused serious injury or a death will now face up to 6 years in prison. This government is cracking down on smuggling.
Right, let's get this.
years.
Let's get to the heart of this. Let's get to the
6
heart of
years.
this. Who is encouraging them to come across the channel? The government, with all their freebies. Everything is lined up to encourage them to come across. Those are the people who are causing any deaths. That's them. It's on them. They're not stopping it. Between the French and the British government, they are encouraging them to come across, helping them to come across, as you'll see in a minute when we go on. You'll see how they're doing it, and you'll go, well
Jeff,
you're the ones helping them and encouraging it.
Jeff, do you think they might actually go and arrest themselves? Do you think Shabama Mahmood might actually go and walk into a prison and say, look, I'm just going to book me in, I'm done. That's it, book me in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it could be going. Over to you, Jeff.
Yes, well...
I wish.
All this just makes it look like they're doing something, hoping the winter weather in the channel will do the job for them, for now, then line up a whole new set of excuses as the spring of 2026 approaches. Oh, and how many Brit and foreign lorries, as I've said, are now equipped with those migrant smuggling cubby holes, because very few of them, these lorries, get checked. So it's almost a slam dunk, isn't it? But where, oh where, is this official grooming gang inquiry? Nothing about that. Or have the elders put the mockers on that? And while our politicians sit in their offices conjuring up the new initiatives, we have a group of Brits on the French beaches doing their best to stop the boats. And I'll just... They stopped another one, as far as I can see. Another one destroyed, another message sent. So that was on Danny Tomo's X profile. So he's...
That can't be true.
I think that's a very recent one.
Yes, I know it's recent, but they can't be doing that, because that would suggest that they're doing more work than the French government and the British government combined. They've been more successful at stopping the boats than either of those two things put together. So as far as I'm concerned, that cannot be true, Jeff. Absolutely not.
Yeah, absolutely not, yeah. Just think what a large determined force of people could do if they got together like that and found every boat on the beach. That seems to be what it's going to take.
Funnily enough, Jeff, from what I can gather, this new Operation Overlord that's taking place, not that I condone it in any way or shape or form.
Absolutely.
No. But apparently it's this is the early stages of it. It's just these are just very small incursions into and not what is potentially coming. Hopefully, nothing. Of course, nothing is going to come of this because, of course, Keir Starmer, thank goodness, is going to smash the gangs, even though there's no actual visible evidence of gangs. Anyway, Jeff, let's see this clip, and I believe this is an older clip.
I just want to say
this is an older clip.
When push comes to shove, a few blokes on the beach can't stop lots and lots of fighting age men from clambering onto a boat. But you'll see here.
Just talk so normal. Oh, he's putting his just in the middle. Unvetted men. Here we go. Not one woman, not one child. Going to fucking England. It's a fucking joke. Oh, I'm devastated, guys. Where's your French police? They stayed. French vessel is there to collect them, and then that vessel takes them to us. That's how easy it is. That's the journey they do from there to there. The journey they do is from there to there, and then they are escorted to us. It's a fucking joke.
It is.
I'm absolutely devastated. What we've seen, but we've stopped many coming this morning, but they'll come again.
Well, let me go and sit the microphone here. You gotta do it.
Yes. Look how easy that is for the dinghy occupants. Steer towards the French Coast Guard vessel and then let it guide them to the nearest UK Border Force or RNLI vessel to complete their trip. And I reckon that the French Coast Guard, while that dinghy was getting filled up, was already on the blower to their counterparts in the RNLI or in Border Force to set up a rendezvous position. 100 at a time, every single... Did you see the number of people on that boat? Yeah, it's just sick.
Absolutely. I mean, just moments prior, we had Shabana Mahmood telling us about all these plans to stop people smuggling, to stop people crossing the channel, and all these deaths. And I mean, the police can come to the beach. They can stop it. They can go to the beach and say, "What are you doing? Where are you going?" No, you're not doing that. Now, they did on that one occasion when, oh, good grief, what's his name? Emmanuel Macron, whatever his face is, when he had a meeting with Keir Starmer in Downing Street. And on that day, funnily enough, you saw the police there slashing the boats, destroying them. Ooh, which incidentally must be illegal, I'm sure, destruction of property. But we did witness that. But that was just a show. It just goes, but look, you've got British lads now who are going out there and doing what the French authorities should be doing. That we're paying them an absolute fortune, millions, tens of millions, I believe it is. Oh, it might even be more. I'm not entirely sure. But there they are, being paid a lot of money, and what happens? They get ferried to the beach. They get ferried to the beach.
Yep. By bus.
Yeah.
They get bussed to the beach. They get transported right the way across from North Africa, right the way across to the French beaches, and then they get ferried across by or sort of escorted across to a point where the RNLI or Border Force can instantly take them, and they're brought in. And that's the end of it. And if anyone does die, it's not our fault. It's not our fault, it's our government's fault for encouraging it to go on. They need to stop encouraging it. And you don't stop encouraging by people by saying, don't come, you naughty people, but if you do, you'll get a free hotel room, you'll then get a house or a flat, you'll get money, you'll get a job, then you'll be able to bring your family across. Stop it.
Yes. But you shouldn't have, not, as I said, I'm not condoning it, but you should not have, under any circumstances, of course, British men going to the beaches trying to stop the boats coming across. That should not be happening, because it should be being stopped by the French authorities. As far as I'm concerned, if they don't start playing ball, maybe we should start applying some sanctions to France. Maybe we should do something like that. Take away their fishing rights. Something. Stop the boats, or else it gets pretty nasty for you. Honestly. I can't believe... I watched that. You can see the pain in that man's eyes. You know, you can hear it in his voice. You can see it in his eyes. He is absolutely traumatized. He's gutted that he was unable to prevent those people going across the boats. Some of them may not make the crossing. That's another side. There's some very strange things that happen on those boats. You know, that's another thing, incidentally.
Especially if they find out one of them's a Christian, by the way.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Honesty and Truth. Matrimonial Causes Act 1973 prohibited polygamous marriages. The act still stands. Yes, it does. No British citizen should have multiple wives. But, and I'll leave it there, but we do allow it. We do. And it's backed up with money as well. Public sector money. Yes.
Well, exactly.
And wisdom nuggets and tidbits, thank you very much. UK brothers and sisters, come to America. We would love to have you here. You would raise a bar of class by a vast amount in America. We love you.
Thank you.
I'm not sure we're that classy these days, you know.
No. Well, I'm not particularly classy today, especially when I'm having one of my rants. But there we go. I'm not going to fake my emotion.
Rant.
It's a classy rant. It is. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway. So
yes. If we could come to America, we probably would. But right now, if Jeff or myself was to try and leave the country, we'd probably get our collar felt and right, come on. Oh, great.
Actually, we'd probably be kicked out, but there you go. Yes. Yeah, they might set up. Do you know, when they set up, they keep on talking about we're going to have an offshore processing facility. It'll be an offshore processing facility for the right wing they don't want, won't it? Go and live there, you know. You've heard it before. We'd rather have them than you. You can go and live in Rwanda or whatever it is.
Well,
like
hasn't the Home Secretary just said... Well, the Home Secretary's now talking about, was it North Macedonia, is it?
Yeah, we're coming on to that, Richard.
Oh,
we are coming on to that. Yes, we're coming on to North Macedonia. Woohoo!
He's got it already, as our Jeff.
Yes, but first, talking about America, no wonder Donald Trump endorsed this comment on his Truth social media platform. Brendan Dilley, I'll just remove that comment because otherwise you won't be able to see what it says. Says we have two options, that's in America. Deport every single third world migrant, illegal alien and America hating visa holder, or surrender your nation the way the United Kingdom have and watch your society collapse in the coming years. And if you look at the top, it was endorsed by Donald J. Trump. That's on his Truth Social platform.
Yeah, that's a repost.
So he's basically reposted the thing, and that says a lot, doesn't it? He has great worries about where the UK is going. And this came up in the Telegraph as well. So the Telegraph was running with a story. Trump, Europe faces civilizational erasure from migration. Continent will be unrecognisable in 20 years or less if present trends continue, White House claims. Now that has really ruffled the diplomatic feathers. You're not meant to say things like that, because he said, if in 20 years' time your continent has changed so much, will you have the same backing of NATO? Will Europe still have that, when they signed the original treaties, will that still hold true? And I've got to say, I wonder, when you end up with government, because we're democracies, we fill the place up with different people, we hand the vote over and passports, the lot, don't we? In the end, if we don't get our stuff in one sock, we will have governments that hate NATO, that would rather gang together with each other and bomb Israel. So we have got some serious times coming up and some serious soul searching to do as well in Europe. Are we just going to hand it all over? Is
yes.
the UK going to become the first nuclear power under a different religion? Which JD Vance said is going to happen.
Speaking of which, apparently France is now, from I did read today, it might be wrong, but is now 10% in its demographic of a certain religion. It is now up to 10%. I think it was at 6% in Britain officially. I think it's probably more like 10%.
It's higher than that.
Yeah,
it's higher than that.
Oh, good
Much
grief,
higher.
yes.
And the authorities know that. They know exactly what they're doing.
Well, Liz Truss, I believe, did come out and say something to words to that effect quite recently. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
thank you, the Black Nothing. Sorry, it's war now. No bones about it. Yeah, this is serious now. When you've got people going across on ferries to try and stop some boats coming back the other way, and I'm surprised. I don't think it'd be long before they get lifted, to be honest, and banned from France. And anyone who thinks about doing the same, they'll be going over social media, looking at what we're doing and other people, and saying, "Out, done. That's never happening. The boats must continue." They want to turn those boats into ferries, be in no doubt. They want to, in the end, what they want to do is say it's all too difficult. We may as well just put them on ferries and bring them across to save lives. They won't care about the lives lost in this country. They don't care about that. That's collateral damage for their new world. So, yeah, I just despair at what's going on at the moment. Yes. But there you go.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, as Richard said, there is a plan for North Macedonia. And the Times has come up and reported on this one. Failed asylum seekers could be deported to North Macedonia, which is quite interesting. The Balkan country is in formal talks with the UK about hosting one of the return hubs that Sir Keir Starmer hopes will deter small boat crossings. So we could end up sending them, and I've got a map here somewhere just to show you, just in case you don't know where North Macedonia is, because some people don't. Let's have a quick look and see if I can find it. And there is the map. North Macedonia is sort of 2/3 away along, halfway down, under Kosovo, and to the right or to the east of Albania.
I
Do
see.
you remember Albania? That's the country that the Italian Prime Minister wanted to send failed or asylum seekers to for processing. Do you remember that? And the EU is all a bit twitchy about that. I'm not quite sure of the status of that particular thing at the moment, but North Macedonia, there in the middle, we're in talks.
There it is. I know.
So
look at that.
Rwanda,
Look at that, Jeff.
Rwanda was out of the question. Rwanda was out
yes.
of the question. We must send them. See, every government has got to do the same thing, but differently. Can't use someone else's idea we'll have our own idea, you know. Oh,
But Jeff, I'm quite happy today because, I mean, look at this map here, North Macedonia. If you hadn't have put that up, I would never have known where North Macedonia was. And I regard myself as quite a learned chap in I know, maybe I'm not. But anyway, this is just a bit of delusions of grandeur. There we go. Yes, North Macedonia, Albania, there they are. Montenegro, Kosovo, Bulgaria. And just below that, you've got a bit of Greece there. Now, the thing is here, though, Jeff.
Serbia to the north. Serbia to the north.
Yeah. Now, what I'm a bit... Jeff, what I'm a bit annoyed about, though, is why the hell should they have to take them? Why should they have to take them? I mean, why do these other countries have to take all the people that we don't want? They should be sent back to the country where they've come from. I don't care about anything else now. If they have entered this country illegally, after crossing through multiple countries, they have forfeited any right to go to any third-party country at that point. I was watching Zia Youssef on Question Time, and you had that Afghanistani chappie, and he was saying, oh, yes, I went to all these different countries, nobody would have me, and then I came to Britain, and it was like, you know, and on the question, what's her name on the panel? I can't remember her name now. On the Question Time or panel, what's her name? The whatever her face is. She was saying, oh yeah. Well, actually, we've got somebody who's an illegal migrant here to see Yusuf, and it was like, oh, this was a complete staged, you know, Trojan horse coming in type thing, and all of a sudden, this chap is saying, yes, I've gone through these countries, and for a moment I had a moment of respect, just a moment for Zia Youssef, and he said, well, no, if you've come to this country illegally, you're out, you're gone. I was like, I'm not a fan of of Zia's, but I was like, yeah, well said, you know. At the end of the day, Jeff, that's it, you know.
Yeah, I did a video on that particular thing and Nigel Farage's response to the BBC. That's the video I did today at 1 o'clock, I think it was. I put it up. So if you want to see what happened in Question Time and what Farage said about the BBC, then that's the video to watch. Yes. Oh, look at that. We're not looking closely enough at the monarch. Interesting.
Well, I do tend to have a little... my eye does tend to wander over to His Majesty and question him quite regularly there, and justifiably so, I believe. Anyway,
further on this story about the failed asylum seekers could be deported to North Macedonia. According to the Times, Britain would pay North Macedonia for each migrant it accepts under a plan that Sir Keir Starmer hopes will deter migrants crossing the channel in small boats. Does that sound familiar in any shape or form to you?
Why is that so? I can't think where that sounds so familiar. Oh, yes, Rwanda. But at the same time, here we are. What are we talking about? We're going to pay these countries to pay? No, we pay. The only thing we pay for is an effing plane. Oh, even train. Yes, put them on trains. Yeah, no. Put them on trains and, you know, put them on horse and carts and put them on ferries. Send them back. I don't care how they get back. I don't care. It's off they go back to their own countries. That's it. Sorry, you broke in illegally. You are acting illegally. That's it. End of. Nonsense.
But it goes further than that, though, because the UK would also agree to invest in the country and offer security guarantees to help combat the threat of Russia as part of the deal. That's a defence pact, a defence security pact that we will be offering them as well, while we wind down our armed forces and make sure they haven't got the equipment and the people they need to even function. What?
Well, yeah.
Oh.
And whilst we are continuously prodding the bear, as they say, we are right now. Britain is acting quite aggressively towards Russia and towards Putin. Look, I'm not the greatest fan of his. I'm not going to say anything about Putin. I have no intention of talking about this whole matter because this is just not. That's a whole other conversation and a whole other video. But just know this: if we were to go to war with Russia, we would lose badly. Like badly. Britain versus Russia. Well, of course, it wouldn't be. Under such circumstances, there would be other countries involved. But even then, Britain, what have we got? What do we have? We have, as you rightly said, Jeff, our armed forces are completely wound down. All we're left with now is effectively Dad's army. Jeff, you're going to be called back up, I'm sure.
I'll be
They'll
called
call you
up. Yeah,
back
no, I won't. Yeah, but Richard, it gets worse than that because we've promised Ukraine troops, haven't we, to police that?
Yes.
And also, didn't we also promise troops for Gaza and Israel to keep them apart as well? I can't remember now. Where else are we going to promise
Something like
troops
that,
we
yes,
don't
yes.
have? Where else are we going to promise them? Well, it looks like North Macedonia's going to have some as well now.
Oh,
you know.
yeah.
We'd have to send
Well,
we'd have to
yes.
have advisors over there, wouldn't we? And all sorts.
Yes.
I mean, this is just ridiculous.
And the more troops we send,
what's happening
of course,
is,
Jeff.
let's put this bluntly. People are allowed just to wander into the country at will in a lorry, aeroplane, boat. Fishing vessels are bringing them across as well, just so you know. And yachts as well. You know, if you want to pay for your yacht trip, you know, that's it. And so all these people are coming in, and all we're doing is we're trying to find ways of either housing them or, if possible, deporting a few. That's it. That's what we're doing. Nothing else. It's just ridiculous. So, yeah. But if you want to hear of a policy that is not going to work, this one, I think, will die in a ditch within seconds of coming up and facing a court. But this is what the Telegraph here was reporting on this one. British-born children of migrants set to be deported. Minister also backs giving asylum seekers bigger payouts to ramp up removals. So what we're talking about is asylum seekers comes over, meets a girl, or the other way round, has a child, and that's a British-born child, yep. But if we deport the failed asylum seeker, the British-born child would also be deported. Do you think that would ever get past one single judge? I don't.
No. To be honest with
one.
you, Jeff, as well, I don't see. Do you know what? This is where things start getting a little bit silly, because you're talking. If the mother is British, you know that child has been born on British soil to a British mother. Now, I don't believe that child should be an anchor point. My point here is that child should never be an anchor point. No family should be an anchor point for a failed asylum seeker. Okay? That's the important thing to say here. Why don't they just say that? Why can't they just do that? Instead, you see, this is where things get a little bit, this is where the area starts to grey up a bit. This is where they start to say, oh, we'll apply these things, and we'll do this. And obviously there will be a public backlash to a lot of the things which they could propose. And they'll say, oh, well, in that case, we won't do any of it then. Okay, fine. Well, we'll just let more people. It's that kind of attitude. This is a psychological war being waged upon the British people, and it's hideous.
Yeah. Well, you've got to remember that if you watch the video I did earlier and you see one of the migrants in Question Time asked, he had his phone out and he was reading and telling everybody, lecturing us about how wonderful the European Convention on Human Rights is. And of course it is to these people, because it has in there, Article 8, right to a family life. That's why these things happen. You have a right to a family life. If your family's here, you stay. If you're here, your family stays. If you're both abroad, you come here and stay. You get the idea. That's how it works. And that's how the judges have interpreted it more and more and more. They've changed the whole meaning of this thing into an anti-UK taxpayer, anti-UK heritage machine. It's an industry, and it fills the pockets of those people who traffic, and also the people in this country who transport these people around, find them the security guards, pay their... This all has to be paid for by us. And the hotels, the homes of multiple occupancy, all the flats they get given, Everything has to come out of our pockets. And the politicians who sit there saying, you pay, you pay, you pay, they don't pay. We do. Especially if you're in the private sector now. They're absolutely treading on the private sector, absolutely scraping every pound they can out of it to A, pay for the public sector, and B, pay for all the newcomers. It's an absolute scandal.
If a man has come in illegally, he should not really have the right to a family life. I don't believe here. If he has a child here, that child should be could be a benefit to the country. Actually, be raised in a good Christian household and become a good member of society. And that's the way I look at it. Because right now our birth rate is just plummeting. We need to get some kind of, instead of probably the one good thing these people are bringing is their sperm. Maybe, I don't know. But
Dear me.
There we go.
But that comes down to British people having 3 jobs to keep a roof over their head.
Yes,
and the more people you bring in, the more expensive that gets. The higher the tax burden, the less chance of you having children. And when the
British people
newcomers
need to have
come
children.
in, we need to do this. We need to stop this nonsense and start having, as Ben Habib would put it, bonk for Britain. So we get our sort of population on an even footing. We don't have to have too many. We just have enough to replace us as we go along. But there you go. The Black Nothing points out, we defend their waters, but not our own. This is the North Macedonia deal. If we're going to give them, we're going to protect you from the rest of the world, but we can't protect ourselves, though. What sort of example is that?
We got an invasion taking place.
What can you defend? What can you defend, Britain?
Yes. We have an invasion taking place right now. We can't defend ourselves from an invasion. So, apparently we can defend other nations. Yeah, okay, whatever. Right.
Yeah, and the Chromosome Cowboy, thank you very much. Great show. Even Trigger My Horse wants to watch. We'll trigger your trigger.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chromosome Cowboy. Yeah.
Oh, dear me. You can tell we're a bit wound up about this, can't you?
Yeah, well,
yes,
ever so slightly.
As Rosemary Griffin says, Starmer and Macron are the gangs. They think we are stupid. Yes, they do. They think we're absolutely dim. They think we'll just fall for it. And the biggest thing is, if you watched that Question Time thing last night, they were saying, it was all, you people, you sort of, they look down on their nose at patriots. They look down on their nose at people who want a quiet, nice country like it used to be. It's not like that anymore. You only have to travel round to the cities to see that. Yes.
Yeah. That's something we hope to be able to do in the future, is to do a bit of travelling around and filming what's going on in our cities, because it's pretty dark out there, to be honest with you. What's happening to Britain, it's awful, and it needs to be documented. But I would also like to show a bit of yin and yang as well, because there are still parts, I don't want to, we need to get, we need to be real here. There are parts of this country that are mostly untouched by the changes we have seen. Okay, they are sort of leafy kind of bubbles, you might say, where the elite usually live, funny enough. But it'd be worth documenting those places to say, well, there's 2 different Englands here, there's 2 different Britons taking place, and the people who live in the nice parts are telling everybody who lives in the not so nice parts, who've had demographic alterations, that they're racist for complaining about it. And I think we need to do a bit of documenting on that, Jeff. That's something I'm quite excited to be potentially doing going up.
Yes, Lord Viking Live, thank you very much. He says, hello, depression. Do you mean emotional, or do you mean economic, or do you mean...
Well, it's both, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Oh dear, this is going a bit far. The original OSOC says that you need to treat these boats the way the US is treating the drug boats.
How are the US treating the drug boats then, Jeff? I don't even know on that one.
They're missiling them. They're missiling them, aren't they?
Oh, I say.
They're dropping bombs on them.
Oh,
and they're being accused of extrajudicial killing.
Oh,
so
really?
when these people smuggle smuggle all these drugs in by boats and effect it. Have you seen the damage that some of these drugs are doing in America? You got areas of some cities that look like zombie world. It's awful,
it is
sickening.
dreadful.
And so if people were bringing drugs like that into this country, I might turn a blind eye to what we did to stop it. It's
No,
one of those
absolutely,
things,
absolutely. Cities and
So
lives
if
have
you
been
make
destroyed.
me prime minister,
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
to expect.
Well, that's
be
it. No,
asking Trump
exactly,
for advice.
exactly. I mean, the one thing America has got right now is a president who I'm sorry, he does care for his people and he is doing his best. But look what he's had to work with, though. It's like Rachel Reeves talks about the legacy of the Conservatives. The legacy that Trump has had to deal with from the Biden administration is completely on another level. We think we've got it bad I've got it bad here in many respects. The difference is that we don't have anybody at the moment who is elected who is going to change anything that's happened, not mind from the start, under the Tories. We've got to wait now until Reform get in. But incidentally, Jeff, do you have a graph there? It's all from Great Yarmouth, I think it is.
Yes,
send it to you.
I have. I think. Let me check. Just make sure I did check. Bring it over. Where is it?
This is quite interesting. If Mr. Taylor has,
If I haven't, it's
not-
on my.
if he has not been
other
defeated by the
computer.
technology.
Let me have a look. No, it's not that. Here we go. Yes, I've got it on this computer. So I'll bring this up. Now, this is interesting. So bear with me. I've got to just find it there on there. And
Basically, whilst you're doing that, Jeff, I'll just
There you
say that. Okay, so this is the election map, Westminster voting intention, and it's identified here for Great Yarmouth, which is Rupert Lowe's constituency. And this is very interesting because if you could just remove that comment that we got there,
I'm just
a
trying
second,
to find the right
just so,
button
so
to
they
press.
people can see that. That was a good comment,
There
by
you
the
go.
way. So thank you for that comment.
Yeah.
You'll find that Great Yarmouth, which the GYF, Rupert Lowe's Great Yarmouth First Party, is in lead position at 44%. Labour on 17% and Reform on 16%. Now, his popularity in his own constituency is absolutely astonishing there. If this is true, I mean, if this does play out in a general election, then what you do have there is you have something quite remarkable, because I was worried that he could possibly lose his seat to Reform, who are surging in the polls. But no, apparently, no, if you look at this, it does appear that I would say this is not just going to be for his constituency. I think this will be replicated across the country. I think a lot of people right now in this country are looking to Rupert Lowe as the leader of the right. I mean, he is the most effective MP in Parliament at the moment. Nobody comes close to him. Farage doesn't get a look in. Every MP that combined on Reform's benches doesn't come close to the impact that Rupert Lowe is having upon this country. And it is absolutely astounding. Now then, the fact that he's saying there's real appetite out there for zero bull politics, that tells me something. I wonder if he is thinking at some point of a political party. I mean, this will embolden him, seeing those kind of statistics. 44%. I mean, as I said previously, 10% of the British public now apparently would vote for, in recent polling, would have said that they would vote for a party led by Rupert Lowe. My goodness. It's not game over for Reform, I don't think. And, yeah, sorry, Jeff, over to you, mate.
Yeah, it's very interesting, that position. I just want to say thank you very much to Beastie Lucifer. Thank you very much. So frustrating. How long must we put up with this BS? You're absolutely right. How long have we got to put up with this? But as long as we let it. Now, looking at that election maps thing there, the Great Yarmouth First Party, 44%, is quite astounding when you consider, I'll just bring up something to show you that the BBC put out 3 days ago. Where is it? Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. This is what the BBC said. If I can get that one down. A former Reform UK MP who is now serving as an independent, that's Rupert Lowe, has set up a new political party. This is three or 4 days ago. Rupert Lowe, who represents Great Yarmouth, has launched Great Yarmouth First, which he says will solely promote the interests of his constituency. The new party is yet to register with the Electoral Commission, and I checked this up before I came online. There's no mention of it on the Electoral Commission website yet. It's brand new. And Lowe said the group needed to establish itself first. Now, all I can say is it seems to have established itself quite substantially already, doesn't it? Looking at that 44% new political party. Now, if he turned round and said, right, every constituency, start your own party and I'll back you with your, great, the Central London First or whatever, Westminster First or North Dorset First or West Yorkshire, whatever it is. Can you imagine what would happen then?
That maybe this is part of a plan. Well, that is an interesting thing. I mean, this is interesting. It's a different approach to party politics, but why not?
They would be separate parties, but they'd all have an overarching thing. So, and they could make a massive grand coalition when they get in. I don't know. It's a thought, just a thought, a bit complex. Yeah. But we need something new. We need something new to shake up this awful situation we're in.
Yes.
Anyway, there you go. Just shows you what can be done when someone has one person gets up and decides that he's going to shake it about a bit. But he's also a highly intelligent guy and a successful businessman. So he knows a few tricks and he knows what he's doing and he knows what to do with money and how to use it to the greatest extent. But there again, Ben Habib is successful in exactly the same way. Why can't they get back together, please?
Lord Viking, left-leaning Jeff and Richard? No, not really. Well, do you know what the funny thing is, though? The funny thing is I've never been left or right. What works? What works for Britain? I mean, do we have to have certain things nationalised just so the infrastructure of this country works for the free markets to be able to work better? All these are conversations, we need to have. Don't forget, Britain was, for many generations, we had so many more things nationalised than we do now. British Gas, British Telecom, all the utility companies, and much of our rail infrastructure as well, if not all of it. So, yeah. And that ended.
Yeah. Now, I always get sad when I see comments like this. Mary Pettifer asks, who wants to bring children up in this vile country now as it is? If the good people don't bring up children and make good human beings as part of that, we are going to fail. That's it. We're going to fail. Well,
there's more to it than that, Jeff. If we don't succeed in changing this country, less and less people are going to have children in this country. I mean, as more people are being shipped out into the communities, we'll say, that makes communities feel less safe, that people are going to put off having children. This has got to be reversed very, very soon. Very, very soon. And we have a great responsibility on our backs. Jeff and myself, we both feel the weight of it at times. It would be very easy for Jeff and I to stop doing this and do other things, and the same could be said for many other people out there who put themselves in harm's way, we'll say. But if we don't, this country's over. My children and eventually my grandchildren will not want to be in this country.
Yeah. But then we have cases like this I'm just going to put up from Yam's Physical Catalogue of Media. I also feel very sad about this sort of thing as well. I'm autistic and I suffer from many illnesses, mental and physical, daily panic attacks, depression, and I've gone back to, because of what's happening. That is an awful situation to be in. And I'm praying for you that you can get out of that quickly.
Yes, I will be definitely praying for you there. Yeah. What can I say? I do understand much. Yeah. Well, I do understand much of what you're going through for obvious reasons. Because I myself I am slightly on the spectrum, you will say. More than slightly, in fact. But there we go. So I totally get where you're coming from. But I don't know what to say, really, Jeff, other than we will pray for you. There will be a light at the end of this tunnel. Don't you worry. Things will get better. This country will improve. We will make sure it will improve. So don't you worry, okay? And anyone who's out there, don't worry. Please, I know that's don't worry. No. The men of this country will ensure that this country will be all right. Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you to the Black Nothing. The birth of the Britain First Party. Go, Mr. Lowe. Well, it's not Britain First already exists, doesn't it? So, but it will be a form of, I think it's the British people and that sort of thing. It's the culture and everything that goes with it. We have got to rescue this situation. Otherwise, 50 years' time, no one will remember. There won't be anything left. It'll all be torn down. Everything will be torn down. And we will
bloody well save it. We will sort this out. We will sort this out. We're not giving in. Look at me. Whoever's watching this now. Just a second, Jeff. Just a second. Look at me right now, okay? If you're watching this, we're not giving up. It's going to be okay. What are we? We're British. We are British. We don't take things lying down. No, the lion is beginning to roar. And more than that, we are starting to return to the place where from whence this emerged, and that is to our Christian roots. And that is so important. Without that, none of it works. And we are making moves back towards Christianity. Christianity is on the march again in Britain. It is on the march. It is on the rise. Churches are filling again, not just in Britain, across the West. The West is starting to... It's all happening, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry. I'm telling you now, it's going to be okay. And, God bless you all. Yeah. And don't get negative, all you lot. Don't be down. Don't be down.
I'm seeing more and more people coming into my church, and they're looking around. They're asking questions. They're coming back. And it is interesting to see that people who would maybe have not even looked at it 10 years ago are now actually looking for it. They're realizing something has to change. And a few of my friends have said to me, they say it seems to me that with what's going on with religion in this country, we all need to turn to Christianity. And I said, yes, we must. So a lot of people, it's beginning to happen. And there are still, I know there are going to be people watching me right now going, oh, here we go again. Yeah. Okay, here we go again.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are. We are where we are today. This has happened because we walked away from Christ. That's what this is what's happened. And my goodness, I was watching Jonathan Pageau, and good grief, I made a note of something he said, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. If you want to know how we're going to sort this out, there's two. He just gave 4 words: remember God, remember death. Because one day you're going to die. All of us are. And don't get down about that. No. If you got yourself in the right place with God, if you're aligned correctly, that's fine. That's going to be fine. Not that we want to die, because that's not... Wanting to just die is not a good thing either. No, but remember God, remember death. It's like, live each day, in other words, as if it's your last, in terms of, well, tomorrow's not promised. How do I feel if I was to meet my maker tomorrow? Am I ready for that? Am I really? And I need to remember that. I need to be constantly reminded of that. What's the Jesus prayer that the Orthodox do, Jeff? You know that one, I'm sure.
Yeah, but yeah, there is. It's a very short prayer, but it's a concentration prayer. Yeah. and
Yes,
it
no,
just,
exactly.
you
That's
just
what we
keep
need, is to
repeating, but
concentrate.
yeah.
Yeah.
We need. It's very very difficult. If you, what I'm trying to express is that if you're just don't believe in God at all, and you just think that this whole place is just rock and a bit of vegetation, and we're squidgy soft bits that just happen to be here, you have to think, where did that come from? And then you say, well, it can't have come from a god. Then where did it come from? Do we really believe it was just one big accident? Really? Do we really think that all that happened is that suddenly everything arrived from nothing, and that's scientific? Really? And which is the biggest sort of fairy story, really?
Well,
You've got to think
funny
about
enough,
these things.
all AIs don't believe. None of the AIs that I have gone through believe that the universe as we see it today is the result of happenstance. They believe that there is intentionality behind the laws of physics, the fine-tuning in the laws of gravity, etc. They say, well, no, that's impossible. There's only one thing that could have done this, and that is intention. And intention means consciousness. And well, what is that consciousness? Well, and funny enough, all of them arrive back at Christ, Jesus Christ being the axiom point of reality. Very strange. Well, it's not strange. Makes sense, really. But yeah, if we keep on thinking, look, we just go back to a secularist society, then we're knackered. We're done. We're in the position we are in now because of that belief. Because all that leaves is a vacuum. And then in walks the next dominant religion and belief system and faith. And it has been walking right through Europe. Thanks to secularism. Thanks to the age of enlightenment. Jeff.
Yeah. Yes, it is a very complicated thing, and it's very to be a true Christian, you've got to have faith. It's a big thing, faith, and the only, and a lot of people, the only faith they've got is taxes and death. Yeah, but there's more to life than that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we go as well, there's something I'd like to tell you as well.
I've got some more. I've got some more to say.
Have we?
Richard.
Oh, Jeff's got more,
I've
has he?
got some more to say.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, good grief.
Yes.
Oh, well, I say.
Because all I
Come
want
on,
to
then.
say is, all the while that this open to the world experiment is being conducted in the UK, we have the cancelling of local elections to stop those politicians opposed to open borders being elected. Cancelling mayoral elections, ditto. Mandatory digital ID to ensure the populace is easy to control. And more importantly, to allow newcomers to be given a UK ID. Yes, they'll be given one, so when they're wandering about, they've got an ID to give when asked, to start their journey to jobs and citizenship. That's what it's for. Arresting people for online comments, but only online comments that oppose the woke open borders narrative and the rest of it. Cancelling jury trials to make sure juries cannot find the wrong people not guilty, because juries are openly allowed to come up with perverse decisions that judges and the establishment don't like. Why do you think they're banning them? The rollout of facial recognition in every city and town, to keep an eye on the UK populace, to ensure they quietly comply and self-censor. A few arrests for praying and the like will do the trick. We know exactly who the criminals they'll be hunting down will be, don't we? We know who those criminals will be. You really think the wealth redistribution antics of shoplifters and phone thieves will be curtailed? Or will it be the potential attendees at a right-of-centre political rally that get hounded and arrested? We live in very, very bad times at the moment. and it's very, very worrying. Thank you to the Black Nothing. If you accept God into your life, he will not abandon you. If you don't, then he will leave you be. The choice is yours. That's very, very true, yes. Anyway.
Absolutely, amen to that. Yes, sorry, Jeff,
So
there's one thing as well. I was honoured to do the voiceover for something for a friend of the channel, James, and his brilliant podcast, the Midas Vibes podcast. And I'll repeat that, Midas Vibes podcast. And so you get to hear my Richard Burton impression on that. It's at the very start. So yeah, so I do recommend you check out. It's a relatively new channel, but it's a fantastic work. The work that he's doing there, honestly, is one of the best cultural YouTube channels out there for critiquing many things, and also James's own channel as well. But yeah, the Midas Vibes podcast, that definitely needs looking at. So ladies and gentlemen, you need to look at that. And another thing, by the way, I have reason to believe that some of you watching this video are not subscribed to this channel. Now, what the bloody hell's the matter with you? Quickly press the subscribe button and choose the all option, damn it. And also click the like button, because that's very important, okay? It's extremely important. It should almost be like a part of your autonomic nervous system, where you see the like button, you see the video come right, like. Okay, do it. That's it. Thank you. Well, only like it once, otherwise the like might come off. Anyway, and if you really like what Mr. Taylor and myself do on this channel, then please become a channel member. For the price of a pint of beer in a London pub, or for a coffee in Edinburgh, maybe. For just that price, for once a month, you get occasional extra content, and you also get the satisfaction of knowing that you're part of the Jeff Taylor channel. I mean, it's I tell you what, it's quite a thing, Jeff.
Right. And there you go. I put a link up to the Midas Vibes podcast. I hope it's the right one in the comment section somewhere. I haven't seen it. I pressed the button and it disappeared, so I'm hoping it's got out there. But there you go.
Well, if you go there, the latest,
the
latest War of the Worlds one is it's absolutely superb. By the way, the
Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. If you're a fan of that, you should enjoy. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on enough. Thank you all for watching, and God bless you all. Hang on, wait a second. I just want to pray for Yam and for anybody else out there. Yeah. I know that Victoria, who's watching this as well, has had been through quite a bit. So just like to pray for everyone out there who is suffering. Heavenly Father, we ask that you come around now to and stand by our brothers and sisters, and those that, even if they're not Christian, we ask that you bless them and you keep watch over them. And those who are not Christian, may they come to know you, Father, and ease the minds and the hearts and the souls and the spirits of those people who find themselves in distress. And heal all of those, please, Father, who are in physical pain right now, in any form of infirmity. Father, just look after them and heal them. We ask this earnestly in the name of your Son, our Lord and Saviour, Jesus Christ. Amen. There we go, Jeff. Over to you.
Amen. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for watching, and thank you, Richard, for always being here to support and help me and be part. And we may have to change the name of the channel at this rate. Anyway, what I'll say on that note is it's a goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from that legend there, Mr. Jeff Taylor. Goodbye.